Premier Doug Ford is planning to introduce new legislation to get tougher on homeless encampments, and he says he's prepared to use the notwithstanding clause if there are any challenges. In a letter addressed to a select group of mayors, Ford outlines the tools he will introduce in order to clear encampments, which he says will restore public safety. The Premier says there will be more funding for shelter spots, but some of those funds must be used to dismantle encampments. Ford also wants clearer laws prohibiting drug use in public. The pledge from the Premier was in response to an appeal from a dozen mayors who asked the province to intervene when court cases challenge efforts to clear homeless encampments.
The focus will be on ensuring that, as we've heard constantly from people, they want a return to, they want to feel safe in their community. So we will be ensuring that we give resources to our municipal partners to ensure that we can have public safety. But at the same time, we understand that those who are in encampments, by and large, suffer from mental health and addiction, and we'll be providing additional resources to that as well. But we've heard the people of the province of Ontario.
I'll be happy when we can provide all the services on the ground to help individuals who are looking for it. I'll be happy when families can start to use parks again in a way where they, don't feel like there are concerns with relation to their kids going down a slide and falling on a needle or finding weapons inside of parks. So this is an incredible step forward. I'm very encouraged, but there's a lot of work to do going forward.
We should be working, as I know most municipalities are doing right now, to try to make sure that people can be moved into shelters and homes. That is the solution to the encampments. And right now, what are you going to do? Move them on to another park? The truth is, we have to have a place for people to live, a shelter for them to stay in. And unless we have that, this is going to continue. They're just going to continue to build and grow as they have under Doug Ford.
This government has not had a plan, and now we're faced with pressure from municipalities who can no longer cope with the issue of encampments in parks, and that our residents and their children can't enjoy the green space in the parks in their communities because the government has been ignoring this issue and have been ignoring the fact that homeless people have nowhere to go, and there are people suffering with mental health and addiction issues, and their solution was to cut spending by $350 million back in 2018. That's the problem. The problem starts with this government who failed to address this issue, and now 6 years later, has not delivered any funding. And of course, the burden is left on mayors to scramble to come up with a solution.
Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow commented on the proposed legislation this afternoon. She says housing is the only way to address encampments and homelessness.
The kind of help that we really need, that the Big City Mayor Caucus collectively all said is, please help us build more supportive housing, help us create more shelters, help us bring people indoor. At the end of the day, that is what will work. That's the only thing that will work. Homelessness crisis, build housing that is affordable. It's not rocket science.
And the bill will be introduced in the legislature next week.